Emotional mastery, letting go of control. Ever notice how the tighter you squeeze wet sand, the less of it you actually hold? Life works the same way. The more we panic, overplan, and rehearse every possible scenario, the more powerless we feel when reality doesn't follow our script. We cling to control with white knuckles, triple-checking, overthinking, running mental marathons, believing that if we just grip hard enough, nothing bad can happen. But deep down, you know the truth. The harder you hold on, the more your peace slips through your fingers. Real peace doesn't come from gripping tighter. It begins the instant you learn how to let go. And that's exactly what we're diving into today: how to master your emotions, release the illusion of control, and finally discover the calm you've been chasing all along. Why we white-knuckle life. Most of us were raised on a quiet belief that shaped everything. If I'm in control, I'm safe. It starts small, double-checking the front door lock, proofreading the email one more time, keeping tabs on everyone you care about. But underneath all those little rituals lives a whisper: if I'm not constantly on guard, something bad will happen. So we white-knuckle our way through life. We treat every day like a chess match, frantically predicting moves that never come. We rehearse conversations before they happen, then replay them long after they're over. We grip tighter and tighter, convinced that vigilance is the same as peace. Meanwhile, our bodies beg for relief, shoulders locked like concrete, hearts pounding even in silence. 3 a.m. Doom scrolls through Zillow or Instagram, as if one more refresh might finally give us certainty. Sound familiar? The Stoics had a name for this trap: slavery. Not chains on your body, but chains on your mind. Because the more energy you pour into trying to control the uncontrollable, the future, other people, random twists of fate, the less control you actually have over yourself. Marcus Aurelius put it plainly: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That realization is where freedom begins, and once you see it, you'll never look at your own need for control the same way again. Where the urge really comes from. Psychologists call it the illusion of control, but for most of us, that urge to grip life so tightly didn't start in adulthood, it began in childhood. Maybe one of your parents walked out, and you told yourself, if I just behave perfectly, they won't leave. Maybe a teacher humiliated you in front of the class, and you decided, if I always have the right answer, no one can laugh at me again. Maybe a friend betrayed you, and the story in your young mind became, if I prepare for every possibility, I'll never be blindsided. That's how kid logic works. It creates rules to protect us from pain. But fast forward 20 years, and that same rule is still running the show. Now you're an adult who color codes your calendar at midnight, triple checks text messages before hitting send, and lies awake predicting disasters that never come, still convinced the universe can't be trusted. Here's the truth. Control has never really been about control. It's been about safety, about a scared child inside you whispering, if I can manage everything, maybe I won't get hurt again. The Stoics understood this fear well. Epictetus, born into slavery, taught, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. And he was right. The scenarios we spin in our heads, the endless rehearsals and what-ifs, often hurt us far more than the event itself ever could. So the first step isn't shaming yourself for gripping so hard. It's spotting the wound. Saying out loud, that's why I cling, that's why I control. Because once you see it, you create space between your fear and your response. And in that space, freedom begins. The backwards secret. Here's the paradox nobody tells you. The moment you finally let go of control, you realize you never truly had it in the first place. Think about it. You can plan the perfect presentation and still get interrupted. You can prepare the flawless dinner and the oven still breaks. You can double-check every detail and life still shows up uninvited. Control is an illusion we cling to, like gripping the wheel of a car that's really on autopilot. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor surrounded by wars, betrayal, and plague, wrote in his journal, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." He understood that surrender isn't about quitting, it's about aligning. Even Jesus put it plainly, "Whoever loses his life will find it." Not poetry, but physics. When you fight the current, you drown faster. When you surrender, you discover the river was carrying you all along. And think of Joseph thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, falsely accused. He didn't hustle his way into Pharaoh's palace. He didn't map out a 10-year strategy. He stayed faithful in the pit, and the current of destiny carried him where no plan could. Surrender doesn't mean waving a white flag. It means realizing there's a current greater than your frantic freestyle stroke. It means understanding that control is not the source of peace, letting go is. And the irony? The moment you stop trying to control everything outside, you gain the one thing you always had power over: yourself. The receipts for control. Let's be honest, control always sends you the bill. And the price tag? It's brutal. Sleepless nights where your brain won't shut off. Tension headaches that no amount of Tylenol can fix. A stomach that ties itself into knots every time plans shift. Explosions of anger in traffic when someone cuts you off. That endless doom scroll at 2 a.m., convincing yourself that just one more swipe, one more article, one more what if will finally give you certainty. These are the receipts of control. Every rigid plan becomes a ruler. You beat yourself with the moment. Life veers off course. It's like having a GPS that doesn't just reroute. It mocks you. "You idiot, you missed the exit again." If your GPS actually said that, you'd throw it out the window. But isn't that exactly how your inner critic sounds when things don't go your way? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." In other words, it's not the missed exit, not the cancelled meeting, not the broken plan that destroys you. It's the story you tell yourself about what it means. "I'm a failure. This always happens to me. I can't handle this." I've lived that story. I once obsessed over a project that didn't land the way I imagined. For weeks, I couldn't sleep. I replayed every detail, every mistake, every possible "what if I had done this differently?" I didn't just lose a project, I lost my peace. Not because of the outcome, but because I let the outcome control me. That's the hidden cost of control. It drains your energy, your health, your joy. It tricks you into thinking anxiety equals responsibility, when in reality, anxiety is just wasted fuel. So before we move on, ask yourself, what has my illusion of control already cost me? Is it your sleep, your health, your relationships, maybe even your sense of joy? The receipts are real, but here's the good news: you don't have to keep paying them. A 30-second drill to loosen the grip. You don't break the habit of control just by thinking about it. You break it by training your nervous system, teaching your body that it's safe, even when your hands aren't on every lever. Here's a simple practice the Stoics would have loved. I call it the open hand method. It takes only 30 seconds, but it rewires years of gripping. Step 1. Name the obsession out loud. Don't hide it. Don't dress it up. Say it clearly. "I'm freaking out about my kids' college apps." Or, "I can't stop worrying about this meeting." Bringing it into the open, robs it of some of its power. Step 2. Picture yourself holding that fear in a tight fist. Really feel it, your knuckles white, your forearm tense, the ache building in your hand. That's your whole nervous system on autopilot, clenched, bracing, trying to control the uncontrollable. Step 3. Now exhale slowly and flip that fist into an open palm. As you do, whisper, "I'm handing this over. If it's mine, it will land. If not, there's something better." Repeat this 3 times a day. Set a phone reminder if you need to. Fist, palm, exhale. Within a week, you'll feel your shoulders drop more easily, your jaw unclench, your eyelids grow heavier at night. Why? Because you're teaching your brain a new association. Open hands equal safety, not danger. The Stoics practiced this in their own way, daily mental drills, to prepare for the chaos of life. They weren't waiting for peace to show up on its own. They trained for it, and now, so can you. Try it tonight, just 30 seconds before bed. Fist, palm, exhale, whisper, and watch how your body starts believing you don't have to crush the universe in your grip to finally feel safe. Surrender doesn't mean becoming a doormat. Every time we talk about letting go, somebody raises the same concern. If I stop controlling everything, won't people just walk all over me? Won't I get trampled? Let's clear this up right now. Surrender is not weakness. Letting go is not the same as giving in. Think of a lifeguard. 2 swimmers are in trouble. One lifeguard thrashes around, panicking, flailing, burning up energy. The other moves calm, steady, deliberate. Which one saves the swimmer? The calm one. Why? Because panic wastes power. Calm directs it. That's the kind of surrender we're talking about. You can still demand respect at work. You can still set boundaries in your relationships. You can still manage your money, raise your kids, and take care of your body. The difference? You do it from rest instead of fear, from peace instead of panic. Epictetus put it this way: don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and your life will flow well. He never said to stop acting. He said to stop clinging. There's a huge difference. I remember a season in my life when I micromanaged every detail at work. I thought, if I didn't control every email, every meeting, every little thing, it would all collapse. But the truth? The more I clutched, the more mistakes I made. The moment I learned to release my frantic grip, still doing my best, but without obsession, my performance actually improved. People respected me more when I operated from calm confidence instead of anxious control. That's the heart of surrender. It's not bowing down, it's standing tall with open hands. It's saying, I'll show up, I'll give my best, but I won't let fear drive me anymore. Surrender doesn't erase your boundaries, it erases your anxiety. 11 years of fertility, paperwork. Let me tell you about my friend Lisa. She wanted to be a mom more than anything. She and her husband filled out stacks of paperwork, paid endless fees, repainted the nursery so many times they lost count, always waiting for the phone to ring. Each time there was silence, her mind spiraled. Should we switch agencies? Did we choose the wrong color? Do I need to hustle harder, pray harder, do more? Year after year, nothing. 11 years went by like that. 11 years of living with clenched fists, trying to micromanage every knob and dial on a dream that refused to arrive. Then one day, the phone rang. A teenage mother was looking for someone to raise her newborn son. Lisa told me later, with tears in her eyes. The week before, I had finally let go. I told God, even if I never become a mom, I will still serve you. I will still love you. I'll stop fighting and just live. That's when everything shifted. Today, their little boy is 8 years old, equal parts energy, laughter, and miracle. But Lisa swears the miracle didn't begin with that phone call. It began the moment she opened her hands. That's the paradox of surrender. It doesn't mean abandoning your dreams, it means releasing the death grip on how and when they arrive. It's saying, I'll keep showing up, I'll keep doing my part, but I'll trust the timing to something greater than me. The Stoics echoed this truth. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Lisa's freedom began when she stopped tying her worth to an outcome and started finding peace in the present moment. And maybe that's your story too. The thing you want most might only come when you finally let go of your desperate need to control it. Sometimes the miracle isn't in holding tighter, it's in opening your hand. When the bad news still hits. Here's the part nobody likes to admit. Sometimes you finally let go, you surrender, you open your hands, and the bad news still comes. The biopsy is positive, the job disappears, the relationship ends, the bank balance drops below zero. Does that mean surrender failed? No, because surrender was never a bargain you struck with life. It was never about guaranteeing perfect outcomes. It was about shifting where your peace comes from. The Stoics knew this deeply. Marcus Aurelius lost children, faced betrayals, and ruled during a plague that killed millions. Yet in his private writings he reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He didn't say peace comes from avoiding pain. He said peace comes from mastering your response when pain shows up. And here's the paradox. Surrender doesn't prevent the storm, but it anchors you when the storm arrives. God never promised, "I'll keep you out of pits." He promised, "I'll be in the pit with you." That stone floor you thought was your rock bottom eventually becomes the stepping stone that lifts you higher than you could climb on your own. I think of a close friend who lost her job out of nowhere. She had done everything right, worked hard, saved money, showed up faithfully. Still, the layoff came. At first, she felt crushed, like surrender was pointless. But months later, that layoff became the very door to a new role she never would have considered, one that paid more, fit her gifts, and freed her to live with more balance. That's the lesson. Surrender isn't about outcomes, it's about presence. It doesn't guarantee the bad thing won't come. It guarantees you won't face it empty-handed, because peace and strength will be with you in the dark. So when the news is bad, remember, your surrender didn't fail. Your surrender is the reason you'll make it through. A 60-second morning habit. Just like brushing your teeth keeps plaque from building up, surrender works the same way. It needs a daily reset. One of the easiest ways to train your mind to let go is with a 60-second morning habit. Here's how it works. Tomorrow, before you even touch your phone, sit on the edge of your bed, feet flat on the floor, hands resting loosely on your knees. Close your eyes and take one deep breath in through your nose. Hold for a moment and exhale slowly through your mouth. Do this 3 times. Now, whisper this simple prayer, or, if you prefer, think of it as a Stoic mantra. Here's my to-do list. Here's my reputation. Here's my family. Here's my money. I can't control all of it. Show me what to carry today and what to leave in your care. Then sit quietly for 1 minute. No chanting required, no fancy ritual, just long enough for your nervous system to feel the difference between gripping and releasing. Epictetus used to rehearse hardships every morning so that nothing caught him off guard. This is your version. You're rehearsing peace. You're reminding your mind, I don't need to micromanage the universe today. I just need to master myself. Do this for 7 mornings in a row. Watch what happens. Your chest feels lighter. Your reactions soften. The things that used to trigger panic start to feel smaller. That's not luck. That's training. Peace doesn't show up randomly. Peace is practiced, and it only takes 60 seconds to begin. Pass the release. If this message connected with you, don't keep it to yourself. There's somebody in your contacts right now, maybe a friend who's been texting you, Zillow links at 2 a.m. Maybe a co-worker who looks exhausted every morning, who needs this reminder just as much as you did. Hit share and send it their way. And I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. What's the one thing you're most terrified to let go of today? Be honest. I read every single one, and you'll be surprised how many people quietly say, "Me too." If you want to go deeper, I've put together a free guide called 7 Prayers to Release Control. It's short enough to read on your lunch break, but strong enough to reset your week. The link is waiting for you in the description. Remember, letting go isn't something you hear once and magically master. It's a daily decision, and your story might be the very encouragement someone else needs to start their own. So don't just watch this video, pass the release forward. The freedom you already own. Picture waking up tomorrow and realizing the boulder you've been trying to bench press was never yours to lift. All that strain, all that sweat, all those sleepless nights, you were carrying weight that was never assigned to you. The sun doesn't need your supervision to rise, the tides don't need your permission to move, and your story doesn't need your frantic edits to reach its destination. Your only job is to be faithfully human, to show up, to give your best, to hold your head high, and let the river of life carry you farther than your clenched fists ever could. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you seek tranquility, do less, or do what's essential, what the logos of a social being requires, and in the requisite way." In other words, stop wrestling the waves, ride them. Peace isn't the absence of waves, it's the discovery that you were built to surf them, to flow with them, to rise on top of them. So exhale, open your hands, because the freedom you've been chasing isn't out there waiting to be earned, it's already inside you, waiting to be chosen. And when you finally choose it, you'll see, the same river that terrified you when you fought it becomes the river that carries you when you finally let go. I'll see you in the current.